Good evening, everyone. This is North here. How you doing? Hope everyone's well today. Today is Thursday, December the 3rd, 2020, and we're somewhere shortly after 7 p.m. And I really didn't want to do the video today. I had a hard day at work, and I was so I got home and I was just I've been going through some of your guys' posts today. PN1's got a post, and I think TJ's got one in pinball. And I saw a common thread, and it's all about the vax that they're rolling out, right? Like, I've got some friends and subscribers over in Great Britain where they are rolling that vax out now. It's been approved, I think, yesterday or the day before, so they're going to roll that out. That's going to be happening shortly. I've seen in other news here from north of the 49th that they're supposed to roll it out late December, I think, Christmas time or whatever, and I think they're going to use the military to help with the dispensing or whichever dispensing delivery, the logistics behind that. So that's the common thread today. The vax. Now, I just finished watching Ed's video and about how the vax is like, it's untested, and their test results weren't, the test results done by Pfizer weren't completely thorough. I think Ed was saying they tested 80,000 or something like that, but they only got results from like a quarter of that number, and so it sounds kind of incomplete to me, but in the end of it, he's saying that Pfizer isn't even going to release the results of the tests for this vax for 2 years. Okay, which strikes me as incredibly odd, because if it has the success rate that they're claiming it does, why wouldn't they jam those results out right now? You know what I mean? To promote it. Because if they're good, why wouldn't you put all that good news out there and get everyone on board? Pfizer likes a lot of this, right? That's what they're in it for. They're not in it to, make doilies for your end table. They're not there to bring you potato salad at your picnic, right? They're not there to buy you a beer. They're in it for the money. So I guess part of that is that they're hanging on to those results for a couple of years until they get massive amounts of those shots, inoculations, whatever, out there, and made billions and billions of dollars, right? And by that time, there's no liability when they release the results. Oh, we were wrong. It was water we put in the vials, or whatever. You know what I mean? They can pretty much do anything, rake in all that dough over those 2 years. Then when they have to release the results, whoops, we made a mistake. There's no liability anyways, right? All right. So a lot of people have pretty strong feelings about this, and I totally get it. All right. Now, something like this that hasn't been properly tested, like, there's studies out there that show that emergency vaxes take 3 to 5 years minimum to produce, and a proven vax, 10 to 15, something like that. But in a few short months, 6-8 months, something like that, they're rolling this one out. All right, so it's unproven. Like everybody else in the world, I'm just a guy. Whoever's watching this, you're just a guy or just a girl. We belong to a family. Every family has their own story, right? They're all pretty similar with, marriage and having children and those children growing up, and all the sports or activities that you do in between, and going to college and things like that. All right. So there's a lot of similarities, but each story is unique, right? There's little differences here and there between each family, and they're not all good. You know, every family has good, and every family has bad stuff that happens through the course of their familyhood, right? That's just life, right? So I want to share with you guys my story today, okay? This is another reason why I didn't really want to make a video, is because I'm going to share this story with you guys, and I don't really want to, but I'm going to for the greater good, okay? Now we're talking about untested drugs and vaccines, okay? All right, here my story begins. Young man, too young, probably, married. We found ourselves pregnant. Cool, we were happy, you know. And early in the pregnancy, in the first trimester, it was wintertime, and my wife got sick. She, you know, I don't know if it was a flu or whatever it was, but so she went to her doctor who had been her doctor since she was a baby, okay? And her doctor prescribed her erythromycin. And apparently, back at that time, right around 1990, my son's 29. He's in his 30th year now. So way back then in the day, at that time, I guess the thing to prescribe for pregnant ladies was erythromycin. You know, ladies that got sick or got the flu or whatever that were pregnant. I guess that was the thing to do. Okay. All right. So. All good. She got her prescription. She got over the, you know, whatever the ailment was that she had, and went through, and, you know, had not a awesome pregnancy, but not horrible. There was some complications, but not terrible. Anyways, baby day comes, and we had to go for C-section was the route we had to go. So, you know, it was scheduled, and, you know, like a surgery, and then everyone went, and they come out with a baby, and you know, a mother that's all dopey, of course, from the surgery and the you know, sedation and all of that. When my son comes out, he's got a right leg that's half as long as his left. Okay, so you can imagine what kind of thoughts that stirred up. You know, not to mention the lifelong damage that people have to deal with, right? Lifelong. Because, so anyways, you know, as a result of that, like, we, you know, sort of put our heads down and headstrong, we move forward and try and help the situation, right? So, through talking to some people, we got involved with the Shriners, a fantastic group of people. If you guys don't know the Shriners, they do wonderful things for children with disabilities. I'll tell you that right now. If you're looking to support any group, the Shriners could do well with your money. So anyways, yeah, we got in with the Shriners. And through having talked to some doctors and multiple surgeries and this and that, we spoke to a doctor that told us that you know, this stage of development where this incorrection in the development would have taken place would have been right in and around the time that my wife was prescribed with that erythromycin. Okay. What a coincidence. All right. So my wife goes back to her family doctor, who was her doctor her whole life. He had miraculously lost her entire file. All of it. Any record that she had ever visited him. All of it. Right? Now, I don't know how well that drug was tested, but that doctor is a POS for sure. But that's what happens with untested drugs when they're administered to people. Okay? So, that's a rough deal. Hugely rough. Lifelong altering rough. Okay? So just think before you take unproven drugs, okay? You guys know what I'm getting at. Because it can cause lifelong damage, right? Not just physical. The physical part you have to overcome, and the surgeries, and the trauma of that, the mental and emotional trauma. But the years and years and years of prosthetics, or whatever, if you get away that lucky, if it's just a limb, you know what I mean? The years and years of that. Well, so we did all that, we got through it, and okay, so here's the upside. here's how you take a bad thing and you turn it into a good thing, okay? So I was blessed with a very smart boy. Very intelligent, okay? So when he was done high school, he was like, okay, I want to go to college. I said, okay, let's start thinking about what you want to do. What kind of jobs do you want? This and that. So we started spitballing ideas about that, and we finally came up with he wanted to make prosthetic limbs for a living. And he went straight into college, out of high school, put himself through college, and boom, he's on it. He's been working his career for 8 years or so now. So there's the upside. However, there shouldn't have to be an upside. There shouldn't have to be a downside. So when you guys are any is out there thinking of taking something that's unproven, listen to some of the stories that are out there, okay? Didn't want to make a video for you guys, but here it is. There's my end of the story. This is going to be north.